Welcome back to Movieworld Recaps. Today I am going to share an action, adventure, drama movie about Robin Hood, who decides to fight back as an outlaw when faced with the tyranny of the Sheriff of Nottingham. Warning, spoilers ahead, so watch and enjoy. Robin of Locksley is an English nobleman who joined Richard the Lionheart's army during the Third Crusade. He and his friend Peter are captured and put in jail in Jerusalem. Robin plans an escape and saves the life of a Moor named Azim in the process. Peter dies in the attempt, and Peters asks Robin to promise to protect her sister Marian. Robin and Azim go back to England together. Azim promises to stay with Robin until he gets paid back for saving his life. King Richard isn't in England, so the cruel Sheriff of Nottingham rules the country with the help of his cousin, the Guy of Gisborne, the witch Mortiana, and the dishonest Bishop of Hereford. At Locksley Castle, the sheriff's men lure Robin's father to the gates and capture him when he refuses to join them. When Robin returns to England, he discovers the sheriff and his men mistreating the populace, his father dead, and his house in ruins. Robin discovers Duncan, an elderly servant of his father who Gisborne blinded, at the family's castle. They go to Marian's family's house, where Robin tells her about his brother's bravery in Jerusalem and gives her Peter's ring. Gisborne appears out of nowhere, and a furious chase follows. Since Robin and Azim's horses can't outrun the people who are after them, they ride into Sherwood Forest, which is thought to be haunted. There, they meet a group of outlaws who have left their families to escape Nottingham's harsh rule. John Little is their captain. After a short battle with staves in a river, in which Robin outsmarts John, who is much bigger and stronger, and calls him Little John as a joke, Robin and Azim join them. Will Scarlet, who is later shown to be Robin's illegitimate half-brother, is also one of the thieves. Robin takes over leadership of the group in the end. He tells his men to fight against Nottingham and teaches them how to protect themselves. Most of the band's homes are high up in the trees as they build a small town in the forest. Robin goes to the local cathedral dressed as someone else so he can talk to Marian and the bishop. The bishop tells Robin that his father started worshipping the devil, but Robin doesn't believe him. As he is leaving, he runs right into the sheriff and cuts him on the cheek with a small dagger. Robin rides away on a horse with a bag of bread to give to the men in the forest. Little John is not happy that the sheriff will hunt them to the death, but Robin says they can use the sheriff's anger to their advantage and fight a small war to win back their homes and reputations as good men. When the sheriff punishes the outlaws by burning down their homes, Robin gets everyone to work for a higher cause. They will rob all the local lords who are loyal to the sheriff and give their money to the poor. After putting a price on Robin's head, the sheriff raises it several times, hoping that the poor will turn against him. However, they don't, because Robin and his gang give all the money they steal to the poor. Mortiana tells the sheriff to send a chest of gold to the other warlords in England. Robin Hood and his men attack the convoy who are moving the gold. Friar Tuck is one of the first people they capture. The big friar was traveling with Gisborne and a small group of his men. Robin's band uses the forest's plants to keep Gisborne's men from noticing the big horse cart with Tuck and a lot of alcohol on it. Later, Gisborne is unable to locate the bandits or some of his murdered men because their bodies were well hidden on the forest floor. When Guy of Gisborne comes back with the news, the sheriff kills him coldly because he failed. Robin asks Tuck nicely if his men can have the captured barrels of ale and mead. Tuck is very proud at first, but when Robin makes him pull the cart back to their hideout instead of the horse, he learns to be humble. Tuck agrees with all his heart to be their holy man. Even though Azim is a Moor and Tuck's enemy, the two become friends when Azim helps Little John's wife Fanny give birth to their third child, which is hard for her. When Marian and her servant are riding through Sherwood, two of Robin's men stop them. Marian is much smarter than Robin's men, and she easily gets them to bring her to Robin. Robin takes Marian on a tour of the compound, and Marian stays there for the night. The sheriff has finally had enough. He hires Celtic warriors to help his army and sends Duncan to find the outlaws' hiding place. Then, he starts a huge attack that destroys the forest hideout. The Celts have to run away because Robin's forces are able to stop the ground attack very well. While Robin's forces celebrate their victory, they suddenly see that the sheriff is planning another attack with flaming arrows and catapult projectiles that quickly destroy their base. Robin saves Fanny and her baby from a burning shelter, but the rope he is swinging on breaks and he falls through the roof. Before the battle, when Marion tried to get help from France, she was also taken by the sheriff. The sheriff asks Maid Marian to marry him and says that if she says yes, he will let the captured woodsmen and their families live. Still, a number of rebel fighters, including Little John's son Wolfe, will be put to death by hanging. While the sheriff is torturing them in order to find out if Robin survived the attack, Will agrees to spy on Robin and lead him into a trap. But Robin and a few of his most trusted friends did survive the attack, despite what some people said. When Will comes back, Little John attacks him right away because his son was taken. He stops when he sees that Will's chest is covered with horrible scars, which show that the sheriff tortured him. Will tells them that Marian will be forced to marry the sheriff and that the people who were caught in the forest will be killed before the ceremony. Robin plans an attack on the sheriff's castle to save them. He even lets Will, Little John's stubborn wife, and Will's wife join in. On the day of the wedding of the sheriff and Maid Marian and the hangings, Robin and his men sneak into Nottingham Castle by putting on different masks. They strategically position themselves around the compound and use the barrels of gunpowder that Azim gave them to start a fierce battle to free the prisoners. The original plan was to just free their friends and run away, but when Azim showed up and said he would fight with Robin against the sheriff, the peasants were finally persuaded to rebel. Robin enters the sheriff's office, where the traitorous bishop, who Friar Tuck later tracks down and kills, has just finished the wedding ceremony, and the sheriff is about to rape Marian in order to make her pregnant with a male heir. Robin kills the sheriff in a fierce sword fight to get revenge for his father. Mortiana attacks Robin with a spear when he lets his guard down. Azim breaks through the locked door and rushes in. He throws his sword at Mortiana, killing her and keeping his promise to Robin. Friar Tuck marries Robin and Marian in the forest after they say they love each other. When King Richard I comes back, he briefly stops their wedding. He agrees to bless the marriage if he can give Marian away, and he thanks Robin for his good deeds. That's all folks for today. I hope you like it. Please subscribe to our channel for more content like this and hit on the like button to help us out. You can also leave a comment below if you want us to recap your favorite movie. Until next time.